Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today's January 6th, and right now we're looking at the infrared satellite imagery. You can clearly see the storm system bearing down on the state of California right now. We've got some precipitation starting across the northern portions here. Very cold air mass will be driving down across much of the state, and we've got the potential for another storm as we go on in through early next week as well. So we'll start to take a look at what's going on here today, starting with Los Angeles, Southern California. You can see Saturday night through Sunday, strong northwest winds. Look at some of these mountain and foothill gusts, 60 to 70 miles per hour. Coast and valleys, 40 to 60 out there. We're going to get some light rain probably out of this as well. The Grapevine, Tejon Pass out there, I-5 could get a little bit of light snow as well. And then that next storm system arrives as we go through next week here. So probably the best day to travel was yesterday. So you might want to put off travel here for tomorrow here across a lot of Southern California, off through the desert areas, the Sierra Nevada, and we'll take a look at some of these watches and warnings we got up. We got a lot to talk about here. Hazardous waves for the southwest California coastline as well, and you can see we've got Saturday and Sunday when this correlates with some high tides. You can get some minor coastal flooding, some beach erosion, and you can see some of these peak surf heights now until Monday morning through January 8th. Here, great graphic here from the National Weather Service, Los Angeles, California. And with the arrival of this colder air here, watch out for some of that small hail out there, and even a thunderstorm or two cannot be ruled out. So heads up for that. Nice graphic here from Eureka, California National Weather Service. Now take a look here. We got winter storm warnings in effect here. This goes all the way through Sunday AM tomorrow. We've got some winter weather advisories out there, but take a look at the forecast. 1 to 2 feet of snow above 3,000 feet in the warning area. Some snowfall rates could exceed 2 inches per hour at times, and some of the wind gusts as high as 55 miles per hour. And I'm telling you what, across the higher terrain, you could get gusts in excess of that, and we'll look at that in some other graphics here in a moment. But you can see mountain travel highly discouraged today through tomorrow. You might want to put things off till probably at least Monday upcoming here. This is going to be affecting a lot of the pass areas back and forth across virtually all the pass areas, actually back and forth across the Sierra Nevada. So also look on the coastline. We got high surf advisories, and this is going to be an ongoing theme here as we go through next week as well. Increased risk for sneaker waves and rip currents. You can see that purple area goes all the way up and down past the Bay Area. We just consider this for all of the California coastline here. And as we go through next week, we're going to have increased wave activity again as well. Not as crazy as the last round that we had, over a week ago now, but still, it is high surf advisory. Definitely be careful if you're out there on the coastlines. And this is looking a little bit further south here across the Sierra Nevada. You can see some of these snowfall accumulations above 6,000 feet. You're talking over a foot, maybe up to 2 feet there, and all the way down towards 4,000 feet. And you can see 6 to 12 inches showing up there as well. So again, the worst travel probably is going to be on in through tomorrow. Sunday should start to get better. By Monday, you'll get the passes cleared out up there and whatnot. But as we go on into next week as well, we're going to be really chilly. This cold air mass dropping down across the region. We could have some 20s down into the valley areas of wind-sheltered regions as well, all the way down towards Southern California. It's going to be very chilly as we go on in through next week. We'll look at that in some more detail here in a moment. And here's the northern Sierra Nevada. This is Reno National Weather Service. Look at some of these gusts here for the ridge tops. I mean, 80 to 100 miles per hour, and this goes all the way in through 4 a.m. Sunday morning. Again, this is for the greater Lake Tahoe area as well. So a lot of winter storm warnings, winter weather advisories out there, and this is for Mono County, again with the winter storm warnings, big wind gusts here, and some really crazy snowfall amounts. So generally the higher elevations, but the snowfalls are going to be pretty low there, and it doesn't take too much to make things slick. So this is far western Nevada. This includes Reno out here, and again with the big gusts here and some slick roadway conditions. And this is down towards Las Vegas. Check it out. We got some wind advisories, and some strong winds are going to shift to the northwest here. Northwesterly winds up to 50 miles per hour. And you can see Vegas would be here. You're looking off into Arizona there. Your Cedar City into Utah. And here is into California and some of the desert areas down there with the gusty winds as well. Now, winter storms here, winter storm warnings here, actually winter weather advisories across a lot of Arizona here. This is Flagstaff, and you can see some snowfall accumulations all the way down to 3,500 feet here. Locally higher amounts, the higher you get, of course. And this is Phoenix, Arizona. Check it out. It does not include the Phoenix Metro, of course, here, but again, a lot of the surrounding area and the surrounding terrain are going to be getting some measurable snowfall, some gusty winds, difficult travel conditions. And if you want a nice affordable home weather station, click on that link down below, 10% off. Highly recommend the station, especially for the price. All solar powered and wireless, ultrasonic anemometer. It's even got a lightning detection system with it. Now, taking a look at the significant wave height. So again, just want to kind of drill this home that we are going to be dealing with these elevated wave activities here as we go on in. A little bit of a break here maybe as we go through Monday and on through early Tuesday here, but you can see that next round again is going to spread some of that wave action all the way down towards Southern California as we go through next week as well. So just kind of keep that in the back of your minds if you have concerns out on the coastal areas here for the next week or so. Now, taking a wider view of things here, you got the Hawaiian Islands at the bottom left. Washington, California is here. We're looking at 500 millibars, which is about 18,000 feet up into the atmosphere. There goes the storm system currently that's just now moving in towards California, impacting Northern California, and it'll be swooping down the state as we go through the afternoon today and through tomorrow morning. And this would be about Sunday night tomorrow. You can see it'll be impacting Arizona, New Mexico as this thing continues to push off to the east. Then we've got another storm system here, and there's some pretty good model disagreement on the track of it and just how much moisture it's going to have to work with. But you can see as we get towards the Wednesday time frame here, another system potentially impacting us here, and kind of that polar lobe taking its swing at the Pacific Northwest. Some very cold air dropping down across the west, and we need a couple days to watch this here because there's big model disagreement between the GFS and the European. GFS keeping things a little bit further to the east, which would be much more moisture starved for the state of California, but a very cold air mass again next week dropping down across the area. Now, taking a look at the NAM3KM. What we're looking at here is 80-meter wind speed. So if I put this into motion, you'll see that wind kind of switching to the northwest here. Look at some of these huge winds across the Sierra Nevada, swooping down across California, initially out of the west and southwest here, and then switching to the northwest. And again, across the higher terrain, of course, the winds are going to be strongest. But as we go on into tomorrow morning, there's still going to be some gusty winds across the desert areas, Nevada, Arizona. As you can see, this storm pivot all the way across the southwest USA. Now, taking a look, I want to show you at 5,000 feet as well. This gives you a nice visual diagram of the cold air swooping into the area. 850 millibars, but again, about 5,000 feet above the surface, generally speaking. And you can see that cold air really swoop down across the area. This will be very early Sunday morning. Look at it just engulf much of the southwest USA and kind of spill out over some of the ocean areas and all the way down into Mexico here as well. This would be very early Monday morning. You can see that cold air mass just taking up residence here. And again, the potential for another one as we go through the mid and later portion of the week upcoming here. This is looking at the European. So right about here is as I'm speaking, you can see it's about 10 a.m. this morning, and you can see it's kind of taking its sweet time moving down the state here, and you can see lighter amounts once you get towards Southern California, but still could be bringing out some rain for the lower elevations there, and maybe even some snowfall for the highest terrain of Southern California. And then as we push off towards next week, we're going to have this next system here as it slides down across the area here, and we'll have to watch to see just how much moisture this is going to have to work with. How far west will this set up? Is it going to move off to the east? We'll deal with that and break the things down as we go day by day with regards to that storm. Here's the NAM3KM. So this is looking at total snow Kuchera ratio. This is hot off the presses. This is a high resolution model, and you can see the snow piling up. This would be about 4 p.m. today, and you can see that snow continuing to pile up across the Sierra Nevada portions of Nevada here. And as we go through tonight and it's very early tomorrow morning, we might see some snow across the highest terrain of Southern California. Then you can see this activity swinging across Utah, Arizona, and eventually off through New Mexico here as we go through Sunday evening and through Sunday night as that storm pushes off to the east. But nice round of snowfall here, and we definitely need it. We are behind, at least snow water equivalent wise, across a lot of the Sierra Nevada. Now, looking at the GFS, this is hot off the presses. This is the initial system here, ongoing, moving across the southwest USA, and then that next storm starts to move down across the region here. And you can see how it's a little bit further east. The dynamics not quite as good here across some of California. So a big model disagreement there between the European and the GFS. We'll watch that and break that down day by day. You'll notice that polar lobe stays much further to the east here and more east of the Rockies, which is kind of typical of what polar lobes do along lot of times. But we'll see. We'll see how that breaks down. The European definitely a little bit further west. And this is looking at the extended forecast. So what we're looking at when we see this here is we're in negative territory for the Pacific North American Oscillation. And this is the European run here. And that kind of brings us those inside sliders and these chilly air masses that move out of the northwest and across a lot of western portions of the USA. And then you can see maybe we'll start to return some more of that southwest flow and some warmer systems here as we go through the later portion of January. No promises right now, just kind of looking out in the tea leaves here and see what might be coming. It is El Nino after all, so we're likely to return to this pattern at some point as we go towards the end of January. Now looking at 2-meter temperature anomaly, this is last night's European run. And I just want to paint this picture here of that very cold air mass. This is very early Monday morning. You can see we're going to be below average here across much of the west. And then as we scroll off into the future a little bit more, that polar lobe is going to take a swing at the Pacific Northwest, potentially dropping down again. Another very cold air mass. We go towards the end of the week here upcoming. Models have been backing off in the extent of this cold air across some of the Pacific Northwest here and how far this is going to get down across the west coast. But it's a good thing we got a few days to watch that and break things down. This is also looking at the GFS, and I want to look out the extended a little bit here, but you can see that initial system dropping down here as we go through tomorrow morning, maybe a little bit across Southern California, better amounts across Arizona and New Mexico there as well, and a nice round of snow for the Sierra Nevada. And then as we go on in towards the end of the week here, you can see the GFS doesn't show too much in the way of moisture with that system here. So we'll watch that one closely over the next few days. And if we scroll off into the future, maybe another system dropping down next weekend as well would be a chilly one also. Now, taking a look at the 6 to 10 day, they are showing at the Climate Prediction Center that cold air trying to drop down into the western portions here all the way through January 15th. Above average signal through January 15th as well. We'll see how that turns out. And this is daily minimum 2-meter minimum temperature here on the National Blend of Models. So look as we go on into Monday morning, look at some of these temperatures all the way down into the 30s. This is not wind chill or anything. These are just outright overnight lows or very early in the morning low temperatures here. And you can kind of see that very chilly air mass, and it's going to hang around for a while here as we go towards the end of the week, towards next weekend. You can see chilly temperatures existing there, so heads up for that. Now, so this is the storm system there. That's that frontal system. Not the day to be traveling out here. I would put it off to Monday if you can avoid it, because there's going to be some pretty big impacts as you saw as we went through the video here this morning. But anyway, we'll keep our eyes on that next system that's going to be developing here across a lot of Pacific Northwest. How much will that impact California? Good questions. We'll continue to look at that as we go. But anyway, I hope you guys are having a good day. If you're a snow lover and you're out across the backcountry there, enjoy what's coming as we go through the day today and the chilly temperatures and the gusty winds. But anyway, we'll do this again tomorrow. I'll break everything down again, and I will talk to you guys then.